My name is Tene Sommer, and this is Marbella Life. I'll be talking to some of my friends and interesting people to find out more what it's like to live and work here. My fourth guest is the lovely Gretel, originally from my home country Estonia, who first came to Marbella back in 2006. She started working as a hostess in one of the best beach clubs here, called Nikki Beach, and worked her way up to being the global director of strategic projects and partnerships worldwide. I'm digging deep into her mindset and how she got there, plus, of course, expanding to her life in Marbella. Enjoy!
And suddenly I was barely 20. I had a company credit card with a 2 million euro limit. I was told, okay, here is 450 people, here is the list of 5 exhibitions, start organizing them, But I had to take 3 buses, so it took me an hour and a half each morning to drive to work, drive back from work, and I was knackered because working in the fresh air when you go from the office, it was just such a different time. But it's fun also to think back exactly. Yeah, imagine working for a brand that's purpose is to celebrate life, wake up every morning and ready to celebrate life. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun and a lot of you also, because you're over there, you work in the forefront of the industry, so you constantly have to challenge yourself, push yourself, make it better. You can't just be complacent because there is so much competition out there. In 2019, I think I took 174 flights. I remember a time when we had an event that was just about to get started and the clients were stuck in Oktoberfest and they're like, oh, we're kind of bored, we wish we were there, And we managed to organize them a private jet to just fly down, pick them up from Oktoberfest and fly them in, so they can join our event.
So how did you go from being the hostess to the position where you are today? What kind of steps did you have to take and what did it take to get to where you are today? Hello Gretel.
Hello, Tene.
How are you?
I'm a little bit cold, but otherwise good.
I know. This is probably the coldest you will get in Marbella.
Yes, and I mean on camera probably it looks like summer outside, but yeah.
We are a bit spoiled already, so we feel like it's a bit chilly today, but it's beautiful. And we're here in Tikitano, and I'm so happy you found a little moment to have a little chat and talk about your life in Marbella.
Well, thank you for inviting me and thank you for having me. And happy to share. So
yeah, it's a pleasure. And to be honest, because of Gretel, I started this podcast because I've had this idea for a while, but we had a nice dinner and she was so excitedly talking about her new podcast that she's starting. And she was like, why don't you do one? And I was like, yes, I should. So thank you. Because
you're welcome. I think it's definitely, there's a gap in the market, and it's nice to have somebody talking about the different aspects of Marbella life and what's here to do, and give advice to people looking to relocate over here. So very excited.
And talking to the real people, the people who actually live here, work here, and been here for a long time.
Yeah.
So
ancient.
Talk about how did you come to Marbella and how many years have you been here?
I don't want to say the number of years. I mean, I came to Marbella straight after the graduation, so back in 2006, and with the initial idea, like I guess most of the people, to just come here for 6 or 9 months, learn the language, gain a bit of work experience, and then go back to Estonia, where I'm originally from, and get the real job and start the real life, because it didn't seem realistic over here,
Why didn't it seem realistic? Why did you not think that you could be living here, working here? Because it's like a seasonal place.
No, because I think
like
it
a
was
holiday
just too much
place.
fun. It was just too much fun, and it didn't seem like that. That's what actual life can be about,
But it can.
It can indeed, yeah. It can indeed.
So what happened then?
Well, quite early on, when I came here, my mindset was that I'm going to be here for 6 to 9 months. I have to find a job. I didn't really care what the job was about. I came here with my best friend and we both said, if we need, we're going to clean, we're going to do whatever it takes, just to make income and enjoy the life here and learn the language. But I was lucky enough that quite early on, I ended up working in a real estate office. It was back in 2006, so a year, let's say the last year of the big boom. So it was very, very interesting time over here. And I was working as an administrative assistant actually. So organizing the property inspection trips for people flying out to Spain or to Portugal or one of these places where they wanted to buy the real estate. And one thing led to another, and then I quickly realized that there's so many opportunities out here. That if I showed up every morning, if I did my job, I did it well, if I showed motivation and interest, then more doors started opening kind of up for me. And I guess it was about 6 to 8 months into the work when I got an opportunity already to start taking charge of these exhibitions. And suddenly I was barely 20. I had a company credit card with a 2 million euro limit. I was told, okay, here is 450 people. Here is the list of 5 exhibitions. Start organizing them, And I thought, wow, nobody never asked me. It's like, what's your education? What's your experience? They just said, hey, this is Estonia, she's been turning up here for quite a while,
She's never late.
She's never late. She does the job. She keeps her mouth shut, So, I realized there is a lot of opportunities. If you want to make a career over here, there is a lot of interesting opportunities.
If you're hardworking.
I guess the mentality was different back then as well, because talking about 2006, Estonia had just recently joined the European Union. We had just barely become legal to work in Spain. And we had our own currency back then. So everything, when I came here was euro. I was calculating everything into the Estonian krona back then. I remember, who hasn't thought, I want to be a millionaire, but I wanted to be the Estonian krona millionaire, let's say, And before I knew, a year into here, you're making good money. Okay, not a million in Estonian money, but I saw it was kind of like reachable or touchable with hands. And so that's how the ball basically got rolling, and I decided to stay here and see what the life is going to offer me and bring me.
So you also managed everything with just English, because obviously you didn't speak Spanish back then.
No, I didn't speak Spanish. I always loved the language and I wanted to learn. I think I took some language courses before coming here. And the company that I worked for was actually an Irish company. So it was purely American English, British English. We dealt with international people, so Spanish wasn't really needed. Until I left that company and I went to work for Nikki Beach. And that's when I actually needed Spanish the first time, and I started learning a little bit more.
So I want to talk about how did you end up then from the real estate company to Nikki Beach? How was that jump? And how did you get that opportunity?
It was actually in 2008. So obviously in the end of 2007, the big financial crisis kind of hit all business industries, not just real estate. And I saw a lot of my colleagues leaving and the office getting quieter and quieter. And I thought, okay, time to do something different. But I thought I'm going to find another office job, because it always, you wear a suit, you go to the office, you work with a computer. That seemed like the career path that I wanted to take. I never worked in hospitality before. And my friend's husband, he used to work in this hospitality industry before, and he said, you know what, the summer is coming. Yeah, I think it was like February. Why don't you go and work at, in a place like Nikki Beach, You can make great money, you can meet the people, it's fun, just do the summer and, focus after the summer when you see, what the economy is kind of doing on different things then. And he set me up the initial interview. And I went to apply as an assistant waiter because I didn't speak the language and I didn't have any experience. I was like, what's the most basic and lowest position? And they said a runner, which is basically like an assistant waiter or waitress that supports the service staff.
Running with the champagne.
Yes, but what turned out during the interview, they gave me a test. They gave me a tray with 18 glasses on it.
I was like,
no.
I'm so bad at that.
So I thought that they're never going to call me back. But I got a call back about a week later and they offered me a hostess position.
They were like, okay, this girl is better just
exactly, just put her to talk on the door, she's fine. And that's how I ended up at Nikki Beach, actually working in the front of house before. I joined the destination about a month before the opening. So as you know, here a lot of the locations are open seasonally. And I remember when I got the call back and I was offered the job, They told me to turn up the next day with casual clothes because it was obviously closed. So I imagined going there, going through reservations, preparing something on the computer. My first day, I was painting.
Oh.
I was painting the walls and, and looking back now, when we come, for example, over here and we see this beautiful location set up, the plants are blooming, the tables are perfect, all the details are in the place. There's a lot of hard work, planning and strategizing that goes into that we as customers sometimes don't see. So it was a lot of love and effort that went from the team. So I done everything, and I was like, okay, I can paint. I never painted, but I'm like, I'm going to paint. And it was an interesting experience, but a completely different jump start to the career. So,
but I think that's why you probably also you were a valued worker, because you didn't say, no, I'm not here to paint. I'm just here to be pretty on the door and talk to the clients. They saw you're hardworking. Your mindset was, okay, whatever needs to be done, I'll paint. I'll do this. I'll do that. So I'm sure the mindset is so important. If you think you want to come make it here, you can't also be, oh, I'm too posh to do that, or I'm too posh to do that. You definitely had the right mindset to start from the bottom. I don't care if I have to clean the floor, I'll do it. But I really want to work. I really want to make it in this company. So I'm sure that has a huge part in it. Because I know a lot of people, they're like, yes, I want to work. But when you actually tell them, oh, can you do this or that? No, I'm not ready to do that bit. But sometimes you have to do the hard bits too.
Yeah, not even sometimes. I guess with anything in life, even where I am today, or, if I start a new project, I'm not afraid to do the work. Because I know if I put in the effort, if I put in the consistency, it will work. So sometimes you have to take a step back to learn the ropes and, then go forward. But I guess also because starting from the very bottom on the ladder, it gave me the 360 knowledge of the business, which actually has led me to where I am today, so.
Yeah, let's talk. Where are you today? What is your position right now?
That's a complicated one, So today I work with a global office. So Nikki Beach, obviously, you know it from here in Marbella, but we have, I lose the count. I think about 14 different locations right now, but, opening some very exciting new ones shortly as well. And I'm the global director of strategic projects and partnerships.
That's not a bad position to have when you've been starting as a hostess.
Yeah, 100%. And I basically, what I do, I take care of different special projects for the companies. So besides Nikki Beach, we are just launching and curating a new brand. It's called Lucia, and the first opening is going to be in Cannes in March. So very, very exciting to be present and to see the new brand being born and something created from the scratch. We also have a lot of hotel openings on the pipeline, and
exciting.
So, yeah, very exciting actually. Never a dull moment in hospitality anyway.
No, so. It's amazing. So how did you go from being the hostess to the position where you are today? What kind of steps did you have to take, and what did it take to get to where you are today?
Well, a lot of curiosity and hard work, I would say for sure. But it's true. I worked myself kind of up in the ladder. I did a lot of different positions within the company. I also left the company, which I think was actually a good thing for me because it gave me a whole different perspective of another market. I was working in Dubai at one moment for another big group. And a different kind of experience. So coming back, I could also take that background with me and, put it to the new work. But like I said, I worked in the front of the house, which gave me an insight into the operations. I had to work together with the kitchen, the waiters, making sure that, everything runs smoothly, complaints. I worked in the sales, I understand how the budgets work. I understand, what is it to reach the financial goals for the company. I worked obviously very closely with the brand and marketing because previously I was responsible and overseeing for the marketing and events for a variety of destinations. And I've also been lucky enough that I've been part of many pre-openings and new openings. And that's always when you get most experience. I mean, super fast-paced. It's a lot of exciting people around you because, it's a new project, so you have new teams around you. And I think exactly each of these positions has taught me a skill set that I would have not gotten by, learning from the manual or taking a course. And that combined, because I love self-educating as well. So I love to take courses, learn, whether it's online courses, taking a university course on the side, listening podcasts, reading books.
When do you have time?
In the mornings. That's the best time, because the rest of the world is sleeping. You wake up early, I go for my walk, and I listen to the podcast then, for example. So it depends, obviously. I have busy times as well, but, whenever I have downtime, that's when I kind of make my goals and my planning for personal education. So I think all of that combined has presented me the opportunity to be in this position. And one of the reasons, actually, because that position didn't exist before and why it was created was exactly the different experience what I had. And I know how the different departments at the company work. So I can be the glue that brings these special projects together.
Amazing. But when you got the promotions inside the company, did you pursue them or were they offered to you? Do you think it's important that you always you go and ask for it? Or do you think it's just, I'll just stick to my job and maybe they'll see that I'm doing good? What would you say? How has it been with you?
How has it been with me? I guess depending on the promotion. So there were times when I saw that the place where the company was, there wasn't any opportunities for me for the growth because the way that the structure was or the amount of locations that we had open. And this is part of the reason why at one moment I left the company because I said, okay, I feel that I've reached in my position where I could reach and there wasn't any other opportunities for my growth available. So I left the company. But then about a year and a half later, I guess, we stayed in touch and they called me back and said, hey, we are expanding. We have a lot of exciting things on the pipeline and I got offered the position. I think sometimes it's also important, especially if you're in a company for a long time, which I've been with Nikki Beach quite a while, is you can get very complacent. And I reached that point when I was feeling that, it didn't excite me anymore, coupled with, personal challenges. I had a loss of a very close friend, probably overworked, and it kind of brought me to the point where I just said, you know what, just need to take a step back and then focus a little bit on myself. And that kind of gave birth to the new idea of this new position and, having these open conversations and seeing, what's the part that I love, what's the things that I'm missing and craving, and, also what's the company's needs. Because in the end of the day, what we all need to understand, it's not the company that's bad if there is no position for you to grow. Sometimes as a person, you need to also go and experience different things. You need to go and work for different brands. You need to go to different destinations and get that experience because your needs also must match with the company's needs, So...
Yeah, exciting, interesting. This episode is brought to you by Besaya Beach and Tikitano by Besaya. Visit my website to find out more about these beautiful restaurants. So, since you've been in charge of hiring people, what tips would you give to people who are looking to work in Marbella or in the luxury hospitality industry?
I think the main thing is to show your unique personality. I personally, my strategy has been, and what I always recommend is, find this 2, 3, 4 places that you would love to work for. Choose the places that you want to work for that make sense, and tailor make your resume and application letter. Instead of sending the same CV to 50 different places that doesn't resonate with any of the recruiters, show your unique personality, show your passion, dedication. Especially if you're in the beginning of your career, if you don't really have much work experience, you don't speak the language and you're just getting started, getting an application that says that I want to work for you because it's going to be useful for my CV is not really something that sells to the company, you know what I mean? And the CVs that they stand out and the applications that stand out, I remember still one CV that I opened and it said the heading was, hey, I think it's me you've been looking for, and yes. It automatically makes a cool impression, you're interesting and you're curious about the personality behind it. So I think it's not about the experience, it's about the dedication and passion. And once you put that effort into your CV and application, that shows.
What is it like working for a super brand like Nikki Beach? Because it sounds so glamorous.
Yeah,
is it always so glamorous?
it's like the Instagram meme that what your friends think you do, what your parents think you do, and what you actually do. Obviously, there is a lot of very cool and exciting moments, but like I said, there is a lot of effort and strategy and planning that goes into each opening event and destination as well. So, but imagine working for a brand that's purpose is to celebrate life, wake up every morning and ready to celebrate life. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun and a lot of you also, because you're over there, you work in the forefront of the industry, so you constantly have to challenge yourself, push yourself, make it better. You can't just be complacent because there is so much competition out there. And being surrounded with the best team and the most creative team that pushes each other constantly, it's very proud moment to see the results translating into something. So,
but like you said, there is a lot of competition. Have you felt the competition also inside the company? Do you also feel like you need to watch your back a little bit, or do you feel like I can trust everyone? This is my family. How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't say about the trust. I guess we are a family-owned company, so one of the things that's super unique, there is not really a lot of hierarchy. You can walk up in any of the company events to the owner and founder of the company and strike a conversation. But as Gretel, as a separate person, I think it's always good to keep a certain distance. Obviously, you spend so many hours at work, so you strike friendships. But I think it's also important that you maintain your relationships outside from the company, so you have this good work-life balance, and you don't get carried away only in the company.
What are some of the craziest things that you've seen in Nikki Beach? We want to know some fun stories that no one knows except.
Define crazy. After 15 years of working in luxury hospitality, what's crazy? What counts as crazy?
Yeah, maybe it's normal to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things, because in the luxury hospitality, what sets us apart is that we go above and beyond the expectation of the client. So our teams, they are amazing at exceeding customers' expectation, whether it's sourcing a one-of-a-kind bottle from somewhere, or flying in a certain food product from another continent. Or I remember a time when we had an event that was just about to get started, and the clients were stuck in Oktoberfest, and they're like, we're kind of bored, we wish we were there, And we managed to organize them a private jet to just fly down, pick them up from Oktoberfest and fly them in, so they can join our event. So, but
so these things you also have to deal with.
Obviously, throughout the years, there's been so many different instances, but I think one of the things that stood out in my mind is the love and the loyalty for the brand. On one example that, and maybe it's a story you don't expect, but there was a couple that they met originally at Nikki Beach. So this is how they got to know each other. They got engaged at Nikki Beach. They got married at Nikki Beach.
Wow.
And then years later, when they came for lunch, they had a baby, and guess what? They called the baby Nikki.
Oh my God!
So true fans, true passion for the brand, and it's
a love story.
Yeah,
Nikki
it's a love story. Yeah, exactly.
So
that was a sweet thing to
So it's
see.
not just for 14. You can even find love.
No, it's for generations. People make memories. It's so fun to see, that you have grandparents coming with their grandchildren, and if you think also, because Nikki Beach has been around for 20 plus years, so most of the clients that we started with, they're in the older age, and now the children are the ones coming to Nikki. So yeah, it's for everybody. We don't have a target demographic that's purely 18 to 30 or 30 to 50. So that's a great thing also.
But like you said, there is this crazy clients who are they want to come. You have to organize a private jet. What has been like? Has there been any instance of a very unique bottle of champagne you have to source? What has been the most expensive bottle of champagne you had to sell? Or any kind of stories like that? Or I don't know, a specific kind of oysters the clients want? Or has there any been...
it doesn't even come to my mind anymore, because there's so many of those. There is so many of those.
So the clients are quite picky, and
it's not about even picky, but it's just
demanding.
about creating and curating the special experiences. So if you have somebody that is from India and they do a birthday celebration and, we really wanted to do something special for them. We wanted to source something from there, for example. So it's not necessarily about the price tag, but it's about creating this moment that they understand that was specifically made for them. Exactly. So
let's talk about your new venture. You also started a podcast, Marbella Property Podcast,
yes,
where you share your knowledge and experience in investing into real estate and financial freedom, which I guess we're all after. So what can listeners expect from your podcast, and what are you most excited about in this venture?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've been doing as a side, I can't say a hobby, is investing. I have a company on the side, and most of my investment portfolio is in real estate. And I got involved with investing maybe, let's say 5-6 years ago, more actively, and I found tremendous support and help from listening to different podcasts in Estonia, because I feel in Estonia the community of people investing or being interested in financial education and how the money that you earn in a job can make more money for you and work for you. And I found tremendous support from that. And I never really felt that there is a community like this in Marbella. So, but at the same time, people are super interested in Marbella. Everybody wants to move here. Everybody wants to have a holiday home over here.
And every second person is a real estate agent.
Exactly as well. And I just felt, because I found so much support in it, and I get so many questions asked about my investments and how do I do something, how do you buy, what should you consider, that I thought, why not start a similar community over here. And I partnered up with a professional real estate agent, Camilla, that, she does that day in and day out. She's the expert. I'm just the enthusiast, I say. And with this podcast, we meet and we interview different industry experts by providing them insights and personal stories and journeys to people looking to learn more about the investment opportunities over here. And it's a new venture still, but we've had very positive feedback, and I'm really proud because I feel also I'm learning through this journey myself. So, and I'm super excited to meet this like-minded people because, like I said, I don't have a strong community. I have few friends and business partners that I do this over here, but I would love to see more people getting involved and coming together because I'm sure they are here, but it's just a matter of uniting them together.
Yeah. Definitely. And you will find the link to Gretel's new podcast in my blog. So please go and give it a listen. I've listened to the first episode. I loved it. And I'm really interested to also learn more about real estate. So it's super exciting that you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm very happy as well. So thank you so much. And likewise.
Thank you. So how does a typical day look like for you?
Well, in my personal life, I like routine very much. So I have a routine I have a personal trainer. Greetings, Ursula Murula.
Estonian,
yeah, she's amazing. I mean, I lost 13 kilos with her in the last 13 months. So
amazing.
And I'm going to have a six-pack by the summer. So,
wow.
So I train with her twice a week. I have my language lessons. I'm learning a new language. So I very much adhere to the routine when I'm over here. But when it comes to the professional life, there is no day like another. So it really depends. I mean, I can have weeks where it's pretty standard and I work from my home office and I have a lot of calls and emails and strategizing. And then there is weeks when I'm just traveling between the different destinations, supporting the location teams with events or openings. So, yeah.
So you're quite self-disciplined then. If you're working from a home office, there's no one who's going to tell you have to get up at 9, work until 5.
Yeah.
You plan your day.
Exactly.
You plan your work.
And plus, because I work with a global team, we have the time difference, quite often 6 to 7 hours. So I've also kind of based my own rhythm on that I have the early mornings to myself. Then I have the mornings where I work with the European teams. I maybe have a little bit more time on the lunch, and then my evenings are again busier, with the calls with the US, for example.
So do you plan your days? Do you plan your weeks? Do you plan your year? Everything.
If I open my calendar, it's like a color-coded,
really?
It looks to somebody probably like a mystery. I mean, I have such a bad memory. Like I have to write down, it should take out laundry from the washing machine. I don't remember these things.
So you have a to-do list?
I have an extensive to-do list. I have it color-coded. So blue is anything to do with my health and fitness. red is personal and purple and green is to do with work and depending if it's an online call or if it's a meeting or a reminder. Plus I have a task list. So I have a calendar for the meetings. I have a task list and reminders. Yeah.
Extensively. I'd love to see your calendar. I'm going to have a look later.
Yeah.
I can see you have a very strong mindset. You're very driven. Who has influenced you the most in that way, or were you born like that? Is that your personality, or have you grown to be like that, or have you listened to podcasts of self-help and discipline, or
discipline, yes and no, I would say. I mean, the work ethic and the mindset and the way that we carry ourselves, that comes from parents and the way that you're grown up. Professionally, I had many mentors. I really look up and respect people that are self-made, you know, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's investors.
Anyone in particular you want to mention?
I'm not sure if they would want to be mentioned.
Okay.
They're successful, but they're kind of private. I mean, the owners and founders of Nikki Beach are self-made. Jack Penrod, Jack Penrod and Lucia Penrod, they live in America, and before Jack started Nikki Beach, which was founded as a memory, as a tribute to his daughter, he was flipping burgers in McDonald's. And then he made his first million when he acquired the first McDonald's franchise, that he made the most successful one. So, you know, he's an entrepreneur and a very cool mind and visionary spirit himself. So he's been a great inspiration as well, of course, you know, but I've been lucky enough to meet different people from different fields that I consider also close friends and that are a source of inspiration, that are these driven people, but they've kept the humility, which I think is super important, and they're not afraid to be sharing this information and, you know, teaching me the ropes when I ask the questions.
And you are very inspiring. I really am inspired by you, because really you have started from zero coming to Marbella, and you are very, very accomplished now, investing in real estate. And I'm gonna fix your hair so we can hear your voice.
I don't, you know, because I don't see myself like that, but I can understand what you're.
Yeah, and if you look back, actually, you have started from the bottom, and you really you made it career-wise, definitely. So you should be really proud of yourself.
I think it's you know, the most important thing what I sense has changed, let's say, in the mindset of the people, is that we're all encouraged. There is so many TV shows and media and podcasts and books about confidence, right? But what I feel the newer generation sometimes are mixing up is the confidence and arrogance. There is a very fine line between that and confidence and staying humble. You know, you can be very confident, but you can still be humble. You can be receptive to the feedback that you receive. And I think this curiosity coupled with this humbleness is what's given and presented all these chances for me. And like you said, you know, you have to start from somewhere. But even now, today, if I'm presented a new opportunity, I'm not afraid to take a step back and, you know, go to the grounds. I mean, when I moved here, I lived in La Campana. It's a ghetto. I mean, who knows Marbella? It used to be ghetto in 2006.
But I'm sure in 5 or 10 years it will be the place, because, you know,
and I had to take 3 buses to go to Nikki Beach, because when I got the jump over there, actually, because I applied to 2 different places, and there was one that was close to Puerto Vanos, and it was close to home, but because Nikki Beach opened earlier, I kind of thought, you know what, I don't want to lose the opportunity because maybe nobody else wants me, so I'm going to go there because they gave me that opportunity. But I had to take 3 buses, so it took me 1.5 hours each morning to drive to work, drive back from work, and I was knackered because working in the fresh air when you go from the office, it was just such a different time. But it's fun also to think back exactly.
And it's very hot in the summer. People always think that it's so nice and warm here, but it gets really, really hot. And the heat is not also easy. Plus 35 degrees.
I'm from Estonia. You're from Estonia. I know that.
I mean, it's great, but we also can't stand the heat in the same way. Like July, August is crazy.
I used to have, because when we had a hostess desk, I used to have this champagne buckets filled with ice, and I actually used to have my feet inside there because I had to stay on the reception to handle all the reservations. I didn't really have to move because I had different people for moving and sitting the tables over there. So what clients didn't see, I actually was tipping my toes in the ice bucket to kind of stay cool over there.
Yeah, it's not easy. So you've done it. You've done it all.
Yeah.
So you've traveled around the world, obviously, with Nikki. How is Marbella different from all these places? And what makes you choose Marbella over Italy or Dubai or Miami?
I think one thing is the closeness to home and the way that Marbella is connected as a city to all the places. It's very well connected to most of the European destinations, including our little Tallinn, Estonia. I think it's a very cosmopolitan city. So there is a nice mix of people. You feel at home, you don't feel as a foreigner. And quite often when you go to Italy, for example, you probably feel as an expat and a foreigner a lot more than you will feel over here. So.
And how do you think Marbella has changed ever since you started here in 2006?
I think it's developed in a. I feel that Marbella has gone through like different phases as well, right? So in 2006, I didn't pay attention to a lot of things over here, but I feel at one moment Marbella was really slipping, and I felt that the kind of people it attracted, the kind of investments that were made into the area, it wasn't really going the right direction. I'm talking probably around 2012, 2013, around that time. But now, especially with the COVID, and with the different variety of things that's been happening over here, from the political elections to Brexit to investment groups that are coming to the area, I really feel Marbella is getting a new life. It's so inspiring to see so many cool new places opening. I almost feel that, pardon what I say, but the trash was cleaned out and now it's made room for the new quality concept. So either you produce quality, you produce rather than quantity, and that's how you survive over here. So, and I like also there is a big mix of nationalities now, so that's always a good for the destination. So definitely. There's so many amazing luxury brands now opening up here. Yeah, exactly.
Like when you came here back in 2006, there wasn't maybe that many opportunities. There was maybe Nikki Beach and a few more bigger companies. Few. But now people really, they do have a choice to work for a luxury brand, and not especially when you don't have the language skills, you don't speak Spanish. There is actually an opportunity still to start in English. I also started with just pure English, and I managed. Yeah. And there is British companies here. I also work for a British company. I manage totally in English. So like people, you don't have to be afraid to just come, and you will find a company where you can manage with English. But I think it's important to learn the language as well. I learned also the language in a language school. I took intensive courses. I think it's also respect for the country and culture that you're in. Yeah, we still have to deal with Spanish people here as well. But I also love the international community and, meeting people from Estonia around the corner every day.
And not just Marbella, because, we talk about Marbella, but it's the whole region and area. I mean, Malaga is known now as the new Silicon Valley of Europe, because attracting all these IT companies and being flexible with the corporate tax. So that's also an interesting thing that's just happening on the side over here.
And that's also one of the silver linings of COVID. It was a tough time for this area particularly, but it has opened up all these digital nomads coming here, people who have seen that they can work online, they can now live here. So we have to be thankful for COVID in that way.
Yeah.
So what are the things in Marbella that you do outside of your work? What are your hobbies? How do you fill your free days, if there are any?
Yeah, that's the fun thing, because until about 2020, in 2019, I think I took 174 flights.
Oh my gosh.
So I was traveling very extensively, and when I came to Marbella, I live in Elviria. I didn't want to leave Elviria. I was just there. I was happy in my little cocoon. I didn't go out. All these new openings, I discovered them in the winter, because in the summer, last thing I want to do is go out in Marbella when I got here. And now my rhythm and pace has changed a lot. So I feel like I'm rediscovering Marbella myself. But I love to go for the long walks, go for the different restaurants and culinary journeys. I wish I would also discover a little bit more this cultural places, wineries, for example. God, I haven't been to Ronda that's how I follow your blog, and I see from your blog, and I have the saved post, all our saved posts. I'm like, one day.
We're gonna do a podcast in Ronda as well.
Yeah. Amazing. There's so many cool destinations to discover, and believe me, I have a list. When somebody asks me when they're traveling over here, I have a list that I can recommend, but I haven't even had time to be, so.
That's why it's sometimes good when you have visitors, and when I have visitors, you have to do the touristic things.
Yeah,
and
you
show
feel
them
obligated to go.
But then I'm like, I'm happy I'm doing this because as a local, you don't do these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
even
not
going to Puerto Banús, I don't go. But when you have family or friends, you have to go and show them the places. So you get to do those things as well. So what are your favorite restaurants or places that are your go-to places in Marbella?
I mean, listen, I love nice restaurants and working in a luxury hospitality field. It's also part of the job is to love, enjoy and discover these places. But I think besides your regular Danny Garcia's, Nota Blues, Goyas, which everybody knows, they're advertised all over the place. I think there are some really cool hidden gems. So I think maybe it's more interesting to mention them. The best sushi. I'm addicted to sushi. I love sushi. So, and no, it is not Nobu. Forget about Nobu. It's Sushi Sensations. It's a very small family-owned place in next to the Bull Ring.
Yes, I know the place.
I love it. I mean, it's just so good and
but
delicious.
I haven't been for years and have to go there.
Yes. Then there is a very cool place that I love for lunch and breakfast. It's called Tene Sommer, next to the casino. So much fresh stuff. There's actually Estonian waitresses, I think, working there as well. So
very
really,
cute
really
cafe.
Cool. Yeah.
You will might find more of Gretel's favorite places in my blog. We will list them all and some hidden gems and hidden secret places that maybe not all the tourists will know.
Yeah.
Because there is, there are so many nice, like you said, these hidden local restaurants and places that you wouldn't get to or you wouldn't go because they are not advertised in every magazine.
Yeah. For sure.
So that's why it's great to always ask locals, or you just visit my blog and you will see what the locals are recommending.
No, because of course, I mean, I love to go to different well-known places as well, but I think these are the places that, you wouldn't probably come across in any listings or, advertising or magazine articles, because they're so small or they don't even need to be advertised because they're busy, enough. So, but this is the stuff that, kind of stood out for me. And also, from the beach clubs, often Nikki Beach. But if you want something authentic and local, really, there is a really cool place called Simbad Beach. I think it's Las Chapas, if I'm not wrong, I just was there, I think, 2 days ago on 1st of January. So, you can have a great paella, put your feet in the sand, enjoy the sun, open all year around. I love it in the winter more, because in the summer, there is so many cool new things to open and you want to...
No, it's a lovely place and you can park really almost in the door.
Yeah.
And I've been there with kids. You go down the stairs.
Oh, yes, super family friendly.
Yeah. So it's great if you want to go with kids as well. I love that place too. Yeah. So what are your plans for the future? Where is Gretel going to be in 5 years or 10 years? Or do you not even think that far ahead?
You know what? I don't think that far because I think as a people we evolve and our, depending on where we are in our life, our goals and dreams and desires might change. So I'm very focused on the near future and I have my to-do list for the year. I have my annual goals, my financial, my professional, my personal goals. But when it comes to, 5 years or 10 years, I guess I hope that I'm healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be satisfied professionally, personally. And that's what's most important,
And what about plans for family?
Yes.
Could be an option?
Yes, can be an option also. So I'm still looking for the one, but let's see.
Yeah, let's talk about looking for the one. How would you describe Marbella's dating scene, if there is such thing, or are you really not into that because you're too busy? Or how would you meet
it's not
people?
About being too busy, but I guess that...
it hasn't been
how so many people ask, but you work at Nikki Beach, you must be. But you understand this is professional, this is work. So, you have your completely different mindset. It's not like I go to the tables and I'm like, no, come on, this is a client, this is, you work differently. So, but I guess again, it's like anywhere in the world. Is it better, is it worse? I don't really know. I just think that maybe a lot of people are here as a stopover, or you have different nationalities. So obviously, when you live in Italy, when you live in Estonia, you're dating probably the same nationality. But here, you don't know who you're going to end up, dating. So it might be a person from a different country, and then it's this borders and traveling and all of that kind of comes into the play. But yeah, I'm a novice to that over here, but I hope I get more time dedicated to dating in Marbella.
Sure. But do you see Marbella as a family destination? Would you raise your kids here? Do you see it as a family-friendly place as well?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know what it entails. I guess that, for people that I see with small children, it's ideal, you don't need to spend an hour stuffing it into clothes and then getting them out from the clothes. But when it comes to schools and that kind of network, I guess I had mixed feedback. So it really depends.
We'll see what life will bring.
Yeah, exactly. Excited for that.
So what would be the final advice to people who are looking to relocate to Marbella? What would you tell them?
I mean, do your research, and when you come, really embrace the Marbella lifestyle. Believe me, it's so much more than just Puente Romano and beach clubs and, having mimosas on Sunday mornings. There is so much more beautiful things over here. Like I said, I'm rediscovering it myself because I almost feel like I just relocated here a few years ago, although I've been here for ages. So, give it your all and also be prepared for a different pace of life. And I think that's the most insightful and valuable feedback that I've gotten from friends who have recently relocated. They say, that the pace of life here is just so different compared to Tallinn or a bustling city, for example. So, enjoy it. Take everything you can, network, and enjoy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you, Tene, for having me.
It was so nice to talk to you. I can talk to you for hours. Okay. We'll have to do a second episode.
Well, anyway, I wish you good luck with the podcast. And it's great that somebody's talking a little bit more about the Marbella destination and lifestyle and giving the tips and tricks to people. So.
Yes, thank you. And you will read more about Gretel and her places and tips and podcasts and everything that she does from my blog. So visit my blog, tenesommer.com, and you can find everything there. So thank you. Thank you very much. This episode is brought to you by Summer Mood. Sustainable clothing that is comfy and chic. Visit the online shop summermood.com.